So I'm going to get you started by thinking about a very practical situation. There is an amount of $60 given to you. You have a choice. You have 5 friends. You can decide to keep that $60 for yourself, or you can share it with some of your friends, or you can share it with all of your friends. What is the impact on your personal amount from the number of people that you share it with? Okay, so $60 up to 6 people it's being shared between. Oh, it's not people. It's so wrong.
No, it was wrong.
Really?
Yeah, beautiful.
That is weird. Look at that moment where you write a word and go, that's just not right. But it is. It's so weird. Anyway, okay, so one person. If you decide to share it with nobody and you keep it all yourself, how much do you keep? $60. If you share it with one good friend, you're feeling a bit kind, you share it evenly between 2 people, how much do you get? 30. Let's keep it going. 3 people. 4 people. $15. 5 people. $12. 6 people. $10. What do you see? As the number of people increases, the amount that each person gets decreases. But more than that, when we say, well, I'm going to go from 2 to 4, so I'm going to multiply the number of people I'm sharing with it by 2, I'm doubling the number of people. What happens to this amount? Yeah, so it halves, doesn't it? What if I decide to multiply by 3 the number of people I'm sharing with? From 1 to 3, I'll multiply by 3. What happens to the amount? What do I multiply the amount by? A third. Okay. We'll do the same with multiplying by 6. Multiply by 6, multiplied by 1/6. If we were to graph this relationship, with number of people in the y-axis and the amount for each person in the x-axis, where do they go? First one person, $60, it's out here. 2 people, $30, it's here. 3 people, $20, here. 4, 15. 5, 12. 10, 6 people, 10. What's the shape? I don't know what that shape's called. I don't know what that shape's called. It's called a hyperbola. What we see in this scenario is an example of inverse proportion. Inverse proportion. When you multiply one of the variables by a number, it has the effect of multiplying the other variable by the inverse of that number. So when we multiply one variable by 2, we increase from 2 to 4. We multiply the other variable by 1 over 2, the inverse of 2, from 30 to 15. When we multiply by 6, from 1 to 6, when we multiply the other one by 1 over 6, the inverse, 60 to 10. It's what's called inverse proportion. Now we've seen graphs before where one value's gone up, the other's gone down, but they're not the same. So we've seen just a negative linear relationship. The difference is you don't have the inverse proportion where you multiply one by a number and you multiply the other by an inverse number. What you don't here is where you add a number and then you subtract a number from the other side. It's a different relationship. This one is a multiplying relationship. That's more of an adding and subtracting relationship. We can write the general form of a hyperbola like this. Y equals k over x. And this is where we see that inverse proportion. We see y in the top line of a fraction, so to speak, it's a whole number, but x is in the denominator of the fraction. Okay, it's in the inverse kind of place in the fraction. We talk about k as being the constant value that relates the two together. We might call it the constant of inverse variation. Okay, the constant of inverse variation. So in our particular situation, what would that constant be? What equation could we write to relate these two together? So we might consider n, number of people, equals k over a, the amount. If we're saying that these two are related inversely proportionally, then that is the general form there. If we want to work out an exact value for k, we just put in one set of values. And so if 1 equals k over 60, with one person you get $60. Well, what's k then? K must be 60. So our equation for our scenario is n equals 60 over a. So we could put any number into it, any number of people into it, and we'd work out straight away what the amount would be. If we had 20 people to share it between, we would say 20 equals 60 over a equals 3. For 20 people, you get $3 each.